as far as Trump's concerned, for me, I voted for him the second time and the third, or not the first. I voted for him the first time. The second time, I couldn't bring myself to do it. I voted for Joe Jorgensen.
Joe Jorgensen.
I wasted my vote. Yeah, she's a libertarian.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you know, it's not. I don't really give a shit what anybody says. I don't really care what he really says. You know, I really just care about like the outcome kind of thing.
I don't think I voted the last like 3 or 4 elections because I already knew it was gonna win. I knew Trump was gonna win the first time.
I was surprised he won.
A lot of people were.
I was surprised.
I knew he was gonna win because of the interest and excitement and it was inciting.
Well, he was changed, like you're talking about.
He was
like
inciting some shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were disappointed. I was disappointed, but I wasn't surprised. I wasn't even that disappointed. Disappointed is not the right word. I wasn't surprised.
That was my first election I was allowed to vote in. Like I was 18 years old. I was 18 years old, and
wow.
I voted for Trump, and I mean I didn't regret it. I'm still more of like a conservative, so to speak, but I might have even voted for him the second time. My problem was he wouldn't shut the hell up. He was dividing what was left of like a relatively conservative poll, and I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like, and that's when my whole political views kind of shifted. This is about a year ago.
Yeah, Trump shit was hilarious. Like go ahead.
Well, what did you say? Trump? What?
No, I was just saying. I was just thinking about Trump's presidency and
oh man,
his whole campaign and.
He's so funny.
Circus, man. It's hilarious.
He's so funny.
He's such a he's our first real celebrity president. Obama was a rock star, but he was a politician. Trump was just a celebrity president, but you know he did his thing. I can't even front. It was a lot more money flowing when Trump was president.
He was such a celebrity president. Was the best way to put. He would not stop talking and this and that. Well, I'm the best at this. We have the best people in the best office.
That's what he does. That's how he's been lying his entire fucking life and getting paid off of lying to people and creating this image. And that's all he does. And he does it so well because like before Trump became president, even a politician, everybody loved Trump. It wasn't the divide, like, oh, you're Trump, fuck Trump. Nah, motherfuckers love Trump. They was making rap songs with, yeah, I'm just like Donald Trump. You know what I mean? He had the suits and shit. It was on the printers. You know what I mean? Like
businessman.
Right. But after that, like, it's, oh no, I love Trump or I don't love Trump. But the people who loved him, like, really, like, loved him.
Well, that's where I got, because I know a lot of people like that, right?
Yeah.
And I voted for the guy because I think it made the most sense. But I wasn't like, oh, Trump's the best kind of thing. I just voted for him because I knew a libertarian couldn't win if he wanted to, right?
Right.
So a lot of the people that I would follow them, like not follow, but I talk to them about politics, are like my friends mostly out in the country or whatever. There are a lot of pro-Trump people.
Yeah.
And, some of that shit, it was like, you guys like... You don't have to agree with everything he says. Like,
you don't have to agree with everything he says. Now.
Like, what the fuck? Like, we're all human beings. Like, there's no chance that you just agree with everything this guy says, and he just happens to be this god that came out of the woodwork for you. It makes no sense.
And that's what was happening.
Yeah, right. Well,
that's why it's funny.
That Donald Trump created not Donald Trump really. I don't want to say Donald Trump did it. I wish I was around more in like the 2000s.
Yeah,
I would say Bill Clinton had a big bitch to do with it, just because of the whole Monica Lewinsky thing and everything else. And who was after Bill Clinton? Was that the Bush?
Yeah, the Bush years were rough.
That was the Bush years, and everybody's like, the Bush years were rough, and that
we're at war.
That made a pretty big split, and then everybody was like, well, who gave a shit if Bill Clinton got a blowjob? Like, you know what I mean? They're like, whatever, But that created this big split of people, and then there was still more people that were in the middle. They would vote this way and that way.
Yeah.
And then Obama came along. He kind of shook it up a little bit.
Shook it up a lot, man.
As far as the African-American vote, it really leaned toward him, for obvious reasons.
He brought the vote out. It wasn't even there.
Well, right, exactly.
It came right after Bush. So it was important.
Well, Bush was a bad thing for the Republican Party. I know that for sure.
It was a bad thing for America.